Welcome back to the JumpStart Sports Show. It's me, one of your hosts, Jason Kopp. On this fine Thursday morning, I am here live from New York City. I'm a solo artist today. No Steven Shoemaker. He did not wake up. But that's not going to stop us. No, sir. We are going to do another Mocky mock draft. It's Giants Day today. Let's go. It's just preseason, but boy can hope that we actually win some. All right, let's do a little bit of a share Z on my screen. Let's hit this. I'm going to be doing a redraft PPR snake draft. Let's fix this. We're doing 1 quarterback, 2 running back, 3 wide receiver because that is what our league settings are. 1 tight end, 6 bench spots. There also should be a flex in here. Okay. Let's randomize it. Should we just ask Alexa? Alexa, volume 10. Alexa, volume 10. Alexa, pick a number between 1 and 10.
A random number is 1.
Nah, 1's too easy. Alexa, pick a number between 1 and 10.
A random number is 6.
All right, perfect. We'll go with 6. Alexa, shut up. Can't trust Alexa. She's not my friend. More reliable than Steven, though. Just kidding. All right, let's start. All right. Let's see what we got here. I think the best part about these mock drafts are how creative the nicknames are. Home for the Galladays, like that is so clever. Sasquatch, Barkley. Anyway, so it goes Christian McCaffrey, then Jonathan Taylor, Austin Eckler, Cooper Kupp, Justin Jefferson. I imagine this is probably going to be pretty typical in your average home leagues. It depends. So let's just go to the cheat sheet. Let's zoom in a little bit so you guys can see it a little bit better. We'll hide the drafted players. So for me here, I'm looking at Dalvin Cook. I'm looking at Derrick Henry. And I'm looking at let's try a build today. Let's go running back and see what we could do from the 6th spot if that works. I think a good thing to try to do in your redraft leagues or just try different things on these like random mock draft sites. See what works, see what doesn't. 3 receiver leagues generally will hold a little bit more value on the receiver, but there's still a premium on the running backs because usually, and Shu and I have discussed this before, but if you have 2 good running backs, like you're pretty set. But the issue is obviously with injuries and everything, you can't ever predict that. So let's go with Derrick Henry here, who was still insane last year, even though he was out for half the year. I think he still finished as like the RB14. It was insane. If he can make a bounce back, I mean, wheels up for him. All right, so since we picked Derrick Henry, Dalvin Cook goes immediately after. Then Najee, Jamar Chase, DeAndre Swift, Aaron Jones, Devontae Adams, Joe Mixon, and then Mr. Travis Kelce. While we're sitting here with our 2nd pick, where you said we're going to go running back, this doesn't necessarily have to be who I'm going to pick, but I'm biased. I'm not sure if I would actually pick them in a real redraft league myself. Because it makes me a little nervous with the injury history. But, I'm wearing the Giants shirt. I'm wearing the Giants hat. We're picking Saquon, obviously. Saquon Barkley, my boy. He's got an RB1 in his range of outcomes. It's absolutely possible that that's the case. He's so elite when he's healthy. But the Giants' offense is crap. The offensive line is improving, but is not that great. He is another year removed from the ACL, which is great, but it's still kind of a crapshoot with him, and you're not sure what you're gonna get. He didn't produce last year, and he was a first-round pick. So you're not really sure what you're gonna get, what version of him you're gonna get this year. It's also very possible that the Giants' offense is still terrible, but remains to be seen. So after Saquon, Stephon Diggs, CeeDee Lamb, Javonte Williams, Nick Chubb, Leonard Fournette, Mark Andrews, Debo, Tyreek Hill, Josh Allen in the third. Wow, that's early. Mike Evans, and then we're up. So if Mark Andrews was there, we would have considered him. For me, I really see. This is why I wish Shu was here. We could have talked about Nick Chubb and how we both feel on him, because I'm like hit or miss, and Javonte also is a really interesting one to talk about. We'll start with Nick Chubb. Nick Chubb is interesting to me because I am not sure what to do with him this year. He's probably the most elite runner in the league. I don't even think it's a question. The Browns have an amazing O-line. Where I get stumped is he doesn't add anything in PPR leagues, which is point per reception leagues. He doesn't add much. And the other thing is with this whole Deshaun Watson thing, and it might be resolved by the time this gets out, but with the whole Deshaun Watson thing happening, it's like, how do you draft him knowing that the offense will be under Jacoby Brissett, and it won't be very elite and won't be scoring much. So I don't think I could take Nick Chubb here in the second. Javonte is a really interesting one as well, because Javonte has been dubbed as like maybe this year's Jonathan Taylor. Jonathan Taylor last year, people were concerned about the O-line. They were concerned about Nyheim Hines. And he still comes out. He's the RB1. Javonte Williams has that in his range of outcomes as well. He's super talented. He breaks tackles at such a high rate. And the only issue is that he's in the backfield with Melvin Gordon. I personally am not sure what to do. Javonte had the passing down work for the most part last year. Melvin Gordon had the goal line work. Javonte is going to probably take another step forward. And if he can take that leap, he'll if Melvin Gordon wasn't there, he'd be a top 5 running back. So it's tough to gauge how much usage will come of Melvin Gordon. But that'll pretty much dictate how this plays out, because now Javonte Williams is behind a good O-line in an offense led by Russell Wilson. So, they're going to be in scoring positions all the time in a very, very heavily scoring league. Very heavily scoring division in the AFC West. It's super, super strong with, the Raiders, the Chiefs, and the Chargers. And I just think that if Melvin Gordon gets hurt, wheels are up. If there's more like a 65-35 split, they were split down the middle to the carry last year. If that's more shifts towards Javonte, I think he could be very good. But I'm really not sure what to do with him. So looking at our next pick, we're going to go receiver probably. See, it is really enticing. Alvin Kamara's there. We talked about it before. Alvin Kamara is still uber talented. My issue with Alvin Kamara is mostly because I'm not sure what to do with the fact that he will likely be suspended. And if he's not suspended, that'll be crazy. But, the man got arrested during the Pro Bowl. And although the court date was pushed back 2 months, I'm just not sure what to do with him. If he's suspended for your playoff push, he loses you the league. So you have to be really careful. And you don't want to lose your leagues in these first few rounds. So at our third pick, we have receiver. In my head, I'll probably be choosing between Keenan Allen. The more I see about A.J. Brown and how well he's doing in camp, the more excited I get about him and how I'm very in on this best friend thing. The best friend thing really comes from the Cooper Cup, Matt Stafford thing from last year where they ate breakfast every day together. And then Cooper Cup went out and had the best year ever, minus, what happened with Megatron years ago. And he won the Triple Crown in terms of yards, receptions, and touchdowns. Was it touchdowns? Maybe targets? No, it's definitely touchdowns. Anyway, so I like this whole best friend thing. And the fact that Jalen Hurts and A.J. Brown are best friends, although it sounds stupid, like I'm in on that. And I'm interested by that. It would be really hard to pass on Alvin Kamara because then you could just abandon running back. But I don't think I'd take 3 straight. And I also don't think that Alvin Kamara would actually be there. I also like T. Higgins. I'm going to go A.J. Brown. All right, so after I picked A.J. Brown, Alvin Kamara, Keenan Allen, James Conner, T. Higgins, Michael Pittman, Patrick Mahomes, Kyle Pitts. Oh, wow, George Kittle came off in the 4th as well. I would have maybe considered Kyle Pitts, but that might still be a little early for me. I'm just not a guy who takes tight ends early. That's just not my style. We'll probably be looking toward most likely receiver again. Seeing as it's a 3 wide receiver league, we probably need to build that up a little bit better. I really like DJ Moore this year. So I just think DJ Moore is a fantastic player and has gotten over 1,100 yards and just unfortunately had 4 touchdowns in every single year he's ever been in the league. So I expect very big things from him with the upgrade to Baker Mayfield. I think that this is a huge benefit for the offense in general. I mean, it can't get worse. Sam Darnold is so bad. So I'm going to take DJ Moore. I really love DJ Moore's talent. And we'll quickly go over who just went. Okay. So Justin Herbert goes next, followed by Darren Waller, Jalen Waddle, Terry McLaurin, Deontay Johnson, Brandon Cooks, DK Metcalf, Mike Williams, Ezekiel Elliott, and then Cam Akers, who I also really want to talk about because there's a few guys in here that I really wanted to talk about. Jalen Waddle, because Jalen Waddle, while he set the receptions record last year for a rookie, now Tyreek Hill comes into play. Cedric Wilson comes into play. It's a new offense under Mike McDaniels. The offensive line is vastly improved, and they brought in Chase Edmonds as well, who will take some passing work. I wanted to get someone else's opinion on, how they view Waddle, but for a different day. So Waddle, in my opinion, I really like Waddle as a player. I will probably be staying away from him because I don't necessarily really believe in Tua supporting 2 fantasy viable wide receivers. It's interesting that Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle were taken by the same team. So that's interesting. I don't think you should ever do that. It's just not offense I'm investing into. I still take Tyreek Hill as the one. They paid him. You just got to follow the money. So Terry McLaurin, who I think will have a bounce back year. I like him. So Cam Akers. Cam Akers could go one of 2 ways. They are reporting that Cam Akers is going to split time with Darrell Henderson, who had a very efficient season last year. I had him in redraft, and it paid dividends. But the other side of it is that Cam Akers, Sean McVay likes to use a 3-down workhorse. He just always has. Todd Gurley, when Darrell Henderson was, Sony Michel, when Sony Michel was only a healthy running back, he was. And they get all the valuable touches. If Cam Akers is even 90% of what he was pre-Achilles tear, and now he's had a full year to heal, because I think he came back a little prematurely, and when he came back in the playoffs, and he wasn't that good. If he could come back that will be a steal. It's a very high scoring offense, and Cam Akers is a stud. So I like Cam Akers, but it's hard with the Achilles. You don't have enough information really to make that justification. So here's an interesting part of this draft right here. There aren't any tight ends that I would take here, so that's not really on our radar. You have 2 running backs, 2 receivers. We need to start 3 receivers, remember. So Courtland Sutton. I had Courtland Sutton last year, and I hated it. he was so boom or bust. The addition of Russell Wilson and them losing Tim Patrick makes me a little bit more excited on Courtland Sutton than I would be usually. I think that he's a fine play that has tons of upside if he hits. Allen Robinson, I think, is in line for a career year, but I'm not 100% sure. Hollywood, I really like until probably week 6. I don't like Amari this year. All right, let's take Courtland Sutton. I like Courtland Sutton. I think he has. There's a range of outcomes where it's likely that he just booms this year. It's interesting he's going ahead of Jerry Jeudy, but I guess in the Seattle comparison, he would be considered like the DK Metcalf, and that was ultimately like the stronger connection before he went down with injury last year. Russell Wilson, I mean. So then after Courtland Sutton go, Amari Cooper, Chris Godwin, David Montgomery, J.K. Dobbins. J.K. Dobbins is a fascinating running back this year. Coming off ACL injury, but he is likely to be ready for week 1. He's coming off the PUP. And he's in an elite offense where he is going to be the lead back. And I don't think they're going to have Gus Edwards be ready for week 1. And if he's healthy and taking the work, he averages about 6 a carry when he was at his peak. It'll be really interesting. If he goes in the 5th round, like the 5th round is like a dead zone for running backs, but like I would be very intrigued if he was in the 5th round. Well, remains to be seen on that one. Allen Robinson goes next. Like I said, I think he could have a nuclear season. Jerry Jeudy, still love Jerry Jeudy's talent. We'll have to see who Russell Wilson's 1 is. I think that's going to be the most interesting part. DeAndre Hopkins at the 604. I don't think that that's realistic. Him being out 6 games makes that probably not the case. So I'm going to change it for the different receiver. Let's go Darnell Mooney. I'll replace it. I don't think that that's realistic. All right. So we're up. Right now our team stands Derrick Henry, Saquon Barkley, A.J. Brown, DJ Moore, Courtland Sutton. I would be pretty happy with this start. I think there's a lot of upside on this team. There's a little bit of a safety net with Derrick Henry. And I think DJ Moore also kind of provides that stable weekly wide receiver 2 at the least numbers. So I really like how this team is shaping up. Let's go back to our cheat sheet. So if we're looking at receiver right here, we're looking at like DeAndre Hopkins is so far down. Maybe running back. There's a little bit of a tier break, in my opinion, after this to a bunch of running backs I don't like. So we look at maybe Breece Hall, maybe Travis, maybe Antonio Gibson, man, has had a fall from his peak. Jeez. He was drafted as like an RB1 last year in the 2nd round. I was actually considering going for him. It's crazy. He was a receiver in college at Memphis, and no one even uses him the same way. It's really weird. Josh Jacobs, I think, is actually being undervalued at this point. Elijah Mitchell, if he's the one there, is going to be very good. But I think let's give Jack a little bit of a shout out. Jack Lopez, if you're watching this one's for you. Let's get some little breezy breeze in here. We got a compliment. Nice pick. Thank you. Let's go back to the draft board. So I think we're good for running back for a little bit. All right. After Breece Hall, Travis Etienne goes immediately after that. Travis Etienne also is an interesting player to watch this season. He has immense upside for his pass down work. He kind of reminds me of like a DeAndre Swift light. The issue I have is I just don't believe in the Jacksonville offense still. I think they're still not good. Their O-line hasn't really improved, and James Robinson is projected to somehow be available. I guess he also is. Well, remains to be seen how he rebounds from the Achilles, but if he does, that's an interesting game changer. Because I think that Travis Etienne would lose some of those high-value touches, especially in the goal line situations. So after Gibson, why does DeAndre Hopkins keep... God, they really want to draft DeAndre. We're going to change DeAndre Hopkins again. I still don't think he would come off here. I feel like someone would take Thielen for his name. So let's go to the draft board. We'll change DeAndre Hopkins again. Adam Thielen. All right. There we go. This is more realistic. All right. After Adam, we'll go Amon-Ra, Adam Thielen, Lamar, Rashad Bateman. I like that little stack. Rashad Bateman is probably a breakout candidate this year. Really interesting player. Joe Burrow, Kyler Murray, Michael Thomas, who has had a ridiculous camp, supposedly. And Gabriel Davis also supposedly has had an insane camp so far this year. Our team, as it stands right now, Derrick Henry, Saquon, A.J. Brown, DJ Moore, Cortland Sutton, and Breece Hall. I do like this team, actually, a lot. I would say we have our flex. Would we want to dip into the quarterback pool? What are we at? 7th pick? Probably not yet. I think we can wait. There's still so many good options here. And I'm more of like a wait for your quarterback kind of guy. We could go Dalton Schultz. I'm surprised he's here. Or we can go another receiver. Let's go Dalton Schultz. Let's just fill out the team. So we'll go Dalton Schultz. Dalton Schultz is probably going to have a very good year. Do I really believe in the talent? I don't know. I'm kind of iffy on him as a talent, but I think that the opportunity is there. And sometimes opportunity is more important than how talented you are. So after Dalton Schultz, we have Aaron Rodgers go. DeAndre Hopkins, that's, I guess, more feasible that he would go in the end of the 7th. He's an elite talent when he's healthy. It's just the 6 games are gonna push him down draft board. So I don't believe that he would be this high. Juju, TJ Hawkinson, Kadarius Toney, my boy, Josh Jacobs, Jalen Hurts, Tyler Lockett. Also very interesting because there was a report that came out that they want to see who throws to DK and Tyler Lockett the best out of Geno Smith and Drew Lock. And I guess that's what you have to do if you have Drew Lock and Geno Smith as your starting quarterback options. It is a shit show in Seattle. I want no part of that. Sorry if you're a Seattle fan, truly. All right. We can dip at quarterback. So this is kind of a benefit of draft boards. Unless it's like my hometown league where people take 2 quarterbacks before round 10. Usually you can play the board and see who has a quarterback in front of me. Oh, they all do. Literally all of them do. So I'm not worried that any of them are going to take quarterback, especially considering this is not real life. I'm going to take so in my head, this is between Brandon Ayuk's apparently had an amazing camp. Elijah Moore, Devontae Smith. I wouldn't take him because I have AJ Brown. Also, Hunter Renfrow, we're gonna take Hunter Renfrow. Look at his face. Like, he looks like an accountant. I love Hunter Renfrow. He was great last year. Such an amazing route runner. We should be good on the quarterback front, and we are. Cool. So let's just see. Are there guys behind us who have not taken quarterback? There's 1, 2. There's 2. Am I okay with any? Yeah, see, like, I'm okay with any of Tom Brady, Russell Wilson, Dak Prescott. So I'm not really going to worry about that yet. Okay. Our team is looking good. I would consider going back to the running back but I think I will get another receiver. I really like Treylon Burks. I also really like Christian Kirk, especially in a PPR. He was a PPR specialist when he was in Arizona. He's a PPR specialist. They paid him a boatload of money in Jacksonville. You have to think they're going to be using him. I'm going to take Christian Kirk. Oh, we got our first defense, ladies and gentlemen. All right. I'm going to take Chase Edmonds. I will go over the picks in a moment, but this is kind of a no-brainer for me. Because also, I don't think a second quarterback will be taken by anyone, and they're not. All right. Let's go over the draft board real quick. After I took Hunter Renfrow, went Elijah Moore, Drake London, who I also love. If you watch my Dynasty video, I love Drake London. I don't know if he'll be great year one, but we'll see. Marcus Mariota-led offense isn't really inspiring for me. Devontae Smith, Elijah Mitchell, Brandon Ayuk, A.J. Dillon, Robert Woods, Bobby Trees, Damian Harris, who everyone hates this year. Apparently could maybe get traded. I doubt that, though. They love him in New England. Clyde, it's so great. Clyde's fall from grace is so funny to me. I took him in the first round 2 years ago, and now he's a 9th round pick. Boy, did I miss. Alan Lazard. Alan Lazard is an interesting one. There's not really much to say on Alan Lazard. He'll be Rodgers 1. There's a shot he takes off. There's a shot he's terrible. I really don't know. I think I'm okay with someone else taking that chance. I don't know. We went Christian Kirk, then the Buffalo's defense. Miles Sanders, Cordell Patterson, Treylon Burks, who I really like as well. Russell Wilson. Oh, another quarterback did come off. That sucks. Garrett Wilson, Kareem Hunt, Chase Claypool. We took Chase Edmonds. It's the last of the starters for the most part. Devin Singletary, I think, is actually a huge steal at the 10th round. He was so good last year towards the end of the year. Ken Walker, great talent, but again, Seattle, kind of a shit show. Russell Gage, Rashad Penny, Jacoby Myers, Tony Pollard, Michael Gallup, Chris Olave, James Cook, Melvin Gordon. We are up. We're going to take a quarterback, finally. Although I really do feel like we can wait. See, this is the problem I have in my home league. I saw everyone had a quarterback. I decided to wait. I waited and waited and waited. And then I lost out on I'm probably the top 13 quarterbacks I lost out on just because I kept waiting. In your leagues, I'm sure someone will do that. So don't do what I'm doing, which is just basically drafting off the board, based on the board. All right. Well, all right. Oops. Sorry. I didn't mean to quick sky more. Let's go Dak, Tom Brady. Let's go Tom Brady. We'll go Tom Brady. After Tom Brady, we have Michael Carter, the Bucs defense, Ramondre Stevenson, who I really like. If he didn't have Damian Harris in the backfield, Ronald Jones, Dak Prescott, James Robinson, Tyler Boyd, DJ Shark. We are up in this range. We're not even looking at tight end probably, although Goddard and Ertz are steals here, I think. Naheem Hines is fine. Alexander Madison, so funny. Like, he went so much earlier last year. It's funny to see him this far down. Because when Dalvin Cook gets hurt, he's going to be unbelievable. Sky Moore, really accomplished rookie. I really like him. I like Rondale Moore this year. Kenny Galladay. I feel like I have to, right? Gotta. For the boys, let's go G-Men. Kenny G on Galladay, baby. Let's go. All right. I'm not going to read the draft board anymore. Most of you probably don't even know who these people are. All right. We got 2 more picks, and then we have a kicker and a defense. Let's just see. If this is my team, I'll show my roster on the left. It's Tom Brady, Derrick Henry, Saquon, A.J. Brown, DJ Moore, Sutton, Schultz, Breece Hall in my flex with Hunter Renfrow, Kirk, Edmonds, and Galladay on the bench. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4 running backs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 receivers. I would probably want 1 receiver, 1 running back. I like Henderson. I like Madison. I like McKissick. They're all kind of the same to me. Do any of them stand out? Honestly, not really. All right, let's just take Madison. And then we'll take, I guess there's a shot MVS becomes the best. I'm going to go Jahan Dotson, though. I just don't like MVS as a player. All right, we'll take our defense and kicker. Evan McPherson. I'm just going to take him because I just love Evan McPherson. Evan McPherson went back out during the Super Bowl halftime show so he could watch it too while he's playing in it. Love me some Evan McPherson. Let's go, whatever. It doesn't really matter. Patriots. All right, let's see. An 87 out of 100. Not bad. Ultimately, these fantasy grades don't matter. Fantasy pros. One more time. Tom Brady, Derrick Henry, Saquon, A.J. Brown, DJ Moore, Sutton, Schultz, Breece, New England defense, Evan McPherson, my boy, Hunter Renfrow, the accountant. Love Hunter Renfrow. Kirk, Edmonds, Galladay, Madison, Jahan Dotson. So, in my opinion, looking at this, I really love the upside of this team. The starting lineup is easily the best part about it, and it's a really, really good starting lineup. Like a very, very solid starting lineup. And the addition of Hunter Renfrow is like another option for an alternate for a receiver, say there's an injury or a bye week. Really love that. Kirk has a ton of upside. I like Edmonds. Galladay, I hope, is good. That's a homer pick. Madison's pure upside. And Jahan Dotson, he's like fine. I just need another player. All right. Let's stop sharing. All right. So that's our mock draft for today. I'd say I did pretty well. I actually really like this team. Has my Giants on it, so that's a huge plus. Bummer that this was a solo one, but the show must go on, as they say. And I think we're getting pretty good at this. Not pretty good, but I think I'm doing all right. And this has been JumpStart Sports. I think JumpStart Sports Show, episode 26 at this rate. Yeah, I guess so. We are finally approaching football season. I am so excited. Although it's preseason, although it's only going to be one quarter of the actual starters playing, which is actually a lot. I can't wait to see what this offense is like. The Giants are going to be, I hope, somewhat better. Even if they're terrible, and you can laugh at me at this video, I still think that the foundation's being set where if Daniel Jones stinks again, they could just move on from him. It's a very strong QB class next year. And worst case, we get one of those boys. Maybe our team gets a little better. Our offensive line is getting better. Our D line is so good. I'm very excited to see what this looks like. So once again, my mock draft went pretty well. QB, Tom Brady, Derrick Henry, Saquon, AJ Brown, DJ Moore, Cortland Sutton, Schultz, Hunter Renfrow, Kirk, Edmonds, Galladay, Madison, and Dotson. Do me a favor, hit a thumbs up on this video, like, comment, subscribe. Tell me how stupid I am, what you would have done differently. But we appreciate all the support that you guys give us. Any view is a great view. I have so much freaking fun doing these, dude. So happy to do these. So until next time, adios, my boys and girls.